What is up, guys? Bradman here, bringing you guys the Smogon usage-based tier changes for August 2016. If you guys are hyped for this, feel free to drop a like down below and subscribe if you are new as well, as I go over my opinions on these tier rises and drops. Do apologize if I sound a little bit different. I think I might be getting sick or something. Not quite sure, but show must go on, I guess. But just gonna hop right into this. Um, Basically, it's a 3.14 or higher, and they actually move up the tier, or I think something like that. And if it's larger than 4%, it moves, I think, up like to OU, I think it is. So, then if it's like super low usage, it actually moves down the tier. So, Trevenant moving from RU down to NU. Mainly this reason is pretty much, there's really no reason to use Trevenant when Tangrowth was in the same tier. As you guys will see in a little bit here, Tangrowth actually moving up a few slots. Again, Trevenant, kind of weak knockoff, something that's, especially with a lot of dark types and stuff like that running around in RU with Sneasel and stuff like that. Sneasel being very common to counter Tangrowth now, so that's probably why Trevenant did drop down to NU. I see it doing decent amount to NU. It does counter like things like Hitmonchan and stuff like that as well. However, it does have a few dark types down there like Liepard and stuff like that, which kind of do destroy it. So I'm not quite sure how it's going to do in NU, but that's mainly the reason why it did move down, in my opinion. Rotom Fan moving from NU down to PU. I really didn't see Rotom Fan. I've been playing a little bit of NU lately. I really didn't see Rotom Fan on many teams. Not really quite sure why it moved down. I'm assuming it's just because of usage. Not quite sure why people didn't use it. Decently fast. I guess the flying typing and the electro typing does give Volt Switcher, Thunderbolt user. Decent move pool like all the Rotoms. Again, a little bit weak to rocks, which I guess with Steelix and stuff like that running around as well. Really kind of hard counters this thing. Steelix being one of the top tier things in NU right now. And stuff like that. So I'm guessing that's really one of the reasons. Really wasn't doing his job very well, and that's why it moved down to PU. So it's going to be very interesting using that in PU. Wouldn't mind trying that out. Shaman moving from UU down to RU. Now this is a huge drop here. Shaman and RU. Another bulky grass type when you have stuff like Venusaur and Virizion and stuff like that in RU as well. Just another reason to run Sneasel. I really think Sneasel's going to be moving up to probably UU these next tier changes here in a few months, because most things that are dropping down to RU, or you just get hit with super effective damage to either one of his stabs from Sneasel here. So, again, Shaman wasn't really doing too much, I guess, in UU, being with Salamence being there, and actually got moved up. Stuff like that. Not really quite sure 100% why it really moved down to RU. Again, this is just usage, but I'm not quite sure why people didn't use in UU. I guess there's just a few other things like Whimsicott and stuff like that, which I guess people were using. So, Tornadus moving from BL2 down to UU. Again, kind of another big drop, gives it another prankster user. Really didn't see it too much over like Landorus and stuff like that, which a lot of other stuff you can use, especially with a lot of ground types running around as well. Really didn't see this thing. It really cannot really do too much with Thunder Wave and stuff like that. So, gonna be interesting to use this thing in UU. Make a Heracross moving from BL to OU. This thing has actually been very, very common in OU as of late. Just with the addition of Sticky Web and Stall, this thing really sits well on stall teams. That's really the reason why I think it really moved up. With that super sky high base attack. And if you run this thing a little bit more bulky, you really don't have to necessarily run full max speed. You can run it more in HP or in defenses if you do want. If you're playing it with a stall team, which with the stall team you're going to be like pretty much just wearing things down, and this thing can pretty much come in, eat up a few hits from your last opponent's mons, pretty much clean up the game. So that's really the reason why it did move up. Again, very, very good thing to stick on a stall team. So, Slurpuff moving from UU down to RU. Not quite sure. It really doesn't do too much in UU. I mean, the only set you can really run with it is Belly Drum on Bird instead, which is again kind of predictable. Stuff like Mega Aggron, which really pretty much just counters this thing. Even Mega Aggron isn't going to be going down to pretty much two Drain Punches if it's fully max defensive. Um, so another Fairy type down in RU. I would not mind using that thing in RU as well. Then it kind of does have a little bit of a limited moveset. You can't really much run too many things on this, but on the next one, Quagsire moving from OU down to UU. Really didn't think Quagsire was kind of OU material. It more of just moved up just because of the metagame. Now people are really realizing stall and stuff like that, and are really pretty much trying to counter stall with most teams. That's pretty much why I think this actually moved down to UU. Again, still has two great abilities: Water Absorb, Unaware. Pretty much it stalls out pretty much anything you want it to. 4 times weakness to grass and the electric immunity. Still pretty good. I can see this thing being used in UU, where like Rotom Heat gets pretty much countered by it. You have to pretty much run Himbar Grass on this now, so would not mind using this thing in UU as well. Muck moving from NU down to PU. Now this is an interesting drop here. Muck really doesn't do too much. Its moveset is really limited. That's really the thing I really didn't see it too much in NU, because I actually was playing it lately. You really don't see Muck too much. Again, its moveset is very limited. It has some decent stats, decent special defense, and I guess decent attack. Other than that, though, it's not really going to be doing too much, especially with Steelix and stuff like that running around right now. And a lot of the Pokemons, like Weezing and a lot of that stuff, it really gets countered by those. And especially with steel types, being that does not get a ground type move, except like Power Up Punch, gets really walled by those. So that's pretty much the reason, in my opinion, why it did move down to PU. As for it being in PU, it might do something good. I'm not quite sure what it really can do in PU, what it can really do in NU, the same in PU. So wouldn't mind looking forward to actually using that in PU as well. Cacturne moving down from NU down to PU. Again, kind of a self-explanatory. Cacturne, again, really countered by Steelix and stuff like that, and a lot of it really wasn't doing too much. It gets completely destroyed by Hitmonchan, which is pretty much a really big threat right now in NU as well. Stuff like that. I guess rain teams are really common as well. Even though this does have Water Absorb, it really cannot do too much. It pretty much requires setup to really do at least decent damage, unless you want to run a lead spike set, which again is pretty predictable. So PU, I see the thing actually moving back up to NU again, because I think it's a little bit too powerful for PU. Especially there's not really too many Monsound that can really handle this thing setting up on them. So I guess if you want to like run like a bulky Rotom Frost or something, or maybe Rotom Fan, it's a good thing that it moved down to deal with this. I'm not quite sure, but I do see it moving up to NU again in the future. Smeargle moving down from NU to PU. Now that's another questionable thing. Smeargle moving down to NU, I really wanted to use in NU. When I did use it, it was very hard actually to use this thing in NU. Being that it has a slow speed stat and it's kind of predictable what this thing's going to do. Either you're going to be running Stealth Rock, Spore, something of that nature, Spikes, or Sticky Web. It's kind of predictable what you're going to be bringing. And it really doesn't outspeed most of the things down in NU right now. Being that Encore Liepard is very common as well, which was one of the primary counters to it when I actually was running it. Stuff like that. A lot of other things like taunt users and stuff like that down there as well. That and again, Hitmonchan is very common down there as well. It gets completely destroyed by priority, which is something down there as well that's pretty much rising in usage, priority type moves. Again, with Hitmonchan, gets completely destroyed by that. You have to pretty much rely on Focus Sash, and if your Sash breaks, you're pretty much down him on immediately. So, as for PU really doesn't have the best of hazard removal. I mean, most of the hazard removal is defog, like defog Articuno, Noctowl, stuff like that. Maybe Spin Torkoal. So I see the thing pretty much actually moving up to NU again as well. Not really going to move higher than NU though. You can set up rocks and set up spike stack down in PU, which I think it's probably going to do. Set up webs, stuff like that. Girder moved down from RU down to NU. I see this thing actually moving up again because this thing is pretty much really gonna pretty much wreck Steelix. It wrecks a lot of the stuff like Lipard and stuff like that. That's pretty much a very big threat down in NU right now. Especially with the Guts, Eviolite. There's not really too much down in RU, I guess, apart from Mesprit that really wants to take this thing out, like Specs Mesprit or something like that. Even with Mesprit, it pretty much gets killed by knockoff, even if it is Bulky Set or Cobra. Do see it moving back up to RU in the future. As for Girder itself, pretty decent mon, gets a lot of coverage, priority Mach Punch, Drain Punch, knockoff, stuff like that. I do see it moving back up to RU though. Pelipper moving from NU down to PU. This is one of those things where it gets completely destroyed by Lantern. Can't really touch Lantern, which was one of its primary counters. Mostly used as throw on a team for defog. That it really doesn't have the best speed, so it got outspeed by a lot of things, and really didn't get to do its job. And also being weak to rocks itself really hindered it. Pretty much actually had to run Roost or something with defog or something on that set, kind of just to keep this thing around. Wasn't really doing its job too well, so that's why I didn't move down. And now the pretty much the questionable pick here. A lot of people are actually going over right now. Tangrowth moving from RU to OU. Now, Tangrowth is one of those mons that is insanely good. I really saw this thing actually moving up to UU next time actually the tier changes did come out. So, for it to move up to OU, it pretty much was on every team in RU when I was actually playing RU about a month ago. So, Tangrowth was so common. That's one of the reasons why Sneasel and mons like that actually have been getting a lot of usage as well. Pretty much just a counter to Tangrowth and stuff like that as well. So Tangrowth gonna be moving to OU. I see this thing probably either staying in OU or dropping down to UU. It's insanely good. It gets access to knockoff, leech seed, base 100 attack, base 100 HP. Gets a super high special attack stat. Run this thing assault vest, rocky helmet. Just bring it in on anything with the regenerator ability. This thing is so good, guys. I'm not really surprised it moved immediately right up to OU, just because it had higher than 4% usage. Pretty much was on everybody's team in RU, so again, gets a super good move pool, super good stats in all the right areas. Run Assault Vest and with the Regenerator, and this thing really does not want to die. And also run a Heal Beller or something on that on your team as well, and it won't die. So, on that, guys, tell me your guys' opinions on this Smogon August 2016 tier changes, usage-based tier changes. Opinions on these move ups and drops in the tiers for these mods in the comments section below. If you guys did enjoy this, feel free to drop a like as well and subscribe. Would appreciate it. Also, if I do sound a little bit different as well, I do apologize. Like I said in the beginning of the video, might be getting sick or something. I'm not quite sure, but should have the Obey match sometime this week. I don't know. My opponent hasn't responded yet for some reason. I'm not quite sure. So maybe we'll pick up a forfeit win. I'm not quite sure, but there's still like a few days left. So other than that, though, hope you guys enjoy this. See you guys next time. Peace.